Hey everyone, welcome back to another week rotations video. We're now week number 58 in the series where I show you everything I've worn all through the weekends, everything from my collection. So some things maybe designer, some things maybe niche or indie, but most of them are gonna be cheapies because that is what I enjoy collecting and what this channel is all about. I'm gonna try and go through this as quick as I can. It's very late on Sunday, the day before I upload this, and had a whole lot going on this week, a lot going on today, and recording this at the very end of the day. So yes, I am in my nighttime clothes here at the house, but I'm gonna try to go through this as quick as possible. And some of these I'm gonna briefly touch on because I really want to talk about them a little later. But starting off with the first day of last week on Sunday, so a week from today, wore one that I got in very recently. That haven't got a whole lot of wears, but I did spray it, let it sit on the shelf for a while, and it has aged beautifully. It is this one by Rayhan, very hyped from them, called Crimson. So this is a clone of Creed Centaurus. Some people say it smells like, smells like the big red gum, cinnamon bubble gummy, but very sweet, a lot of vanilla, a lot of lavender. It actually reminds me a little bit of Bogart Pour Homme, but with just extra cinnamon, a little extra sweetness. It's definitely a matured, classy, dressed up style of sweetness. Like I said, cinnamon, vanilla, lavender, a little bit of a woodiness in here, a lot of musks. It smells fantastic. Like I said, especially now that it is sat on my shelf back here. I haven't given a full wearing. It smells great, great performer, very long lasting, great quality. Obviously not just like the Creed, but very, very close to that scent profile. One of the best ones that Rayhan has. I know they have a lot of new ones, a lot of huge releases recently, and I really want to get my hands on some of those. But even for now, this is a great one. I happened to get it at TJ Maxx for like $35 or $40 almost. But yeah, really great. If you had a chance to get this one, I highly recommend it. The next one is one of the ones that opened up on my live stream later that day on Sunday, so if you didn't get a chance to be a part of that, you can go back on the archive ones or the ones that have been posted and watch through that live stream. But it's from the brand of Gulf Orchid, and it is the original Sweet Heaven. I wore this right after the live stream. It's a whole gift set of these, and this is the original one. I decided to spray it up and see what it's like, and I do really like it. It looks like Camera. All of them have a little bit of a Camera smell, like a little bit of that profile in there, but a lot of a twist on every single one of them, which to me gives it a little more character and something that's probably more likely something that I'll actually wear and own. But yeah, I love this stuff. And this one, even though it is the original Sweet Heaven, it does not smell just like, sorry, not Camera, but Angel Share. Let me get that. It smells more like Angel Share, which a lot of people associate with Camera. So very much in the same profile, but it smells like it, but a lot more resinous, balsamic, very dry woodiness, and not just the vanillic, sweet, boozy aspect that is very much in the beginning, and then it dries down very quickly, being something, like I said, very balsamic, almost bitter style of woodiness, very dry, very interesting, not something that I expected, but one that is a good, happy addition to my collection because I'd had things that smell like Angel Share, so I didn't really want things that are like 5 fragrances just like that. I want something with a little twist to it, and this definitely has a very unique, nice twist to it. Do recommend it. Any of these from the Sweet Heaven line, if you do have a chance to get them, I highly recommend trying it out. The next day on that work day, wore one that not a whole lot of people really get with, but I really enjoy it. Is the whole profile itself is one that I do enjoy, but this fragrance here I think is the best twist and clone on it for the price you can get it at. It is by Chimera Perfumes, and this is in the Contra line. It is Pharos Royal Edition. Obviously, not just by the scent alone, but by the look of the bottle, very reflective, by the way. It's reflecting light everywhere in here. It looks like Pegasus, and it definitely smells like Pegasus. But I think the way that Chimera Perfumes does this is way better than any other clone out there. So smooth, has a little freshness to it, very much has that vanilla, almond, heliotropin kind of thing to it. Very little floral, very musky, a little powdery, a little bit of that metallic kind of aspect. But the way that the Contra line does this, I think is perfect. Way better than really any clone out there, and almost a dead ringer for the original Pegasus. The quality is fantastic. It's super smooth. I think even if you're one that doesn't enjoy the Pegasus DNA, that you might like this one. I can even see wearing this one sometimes in the summertime because how light and airy that the way that this one is coming across. Really love it. Absolutely fantastic. Great performer as well. Really do enjoy this, and I have something that recently got from Latafa that smells a little like Pegasus exclusive, so I'm very excited to have this and then that option to go back and forth. But yeah, this one here, fantastic. Love it. If you love Pegasus or that style, you definitely need to check this out, especially for the dirt cheap price you can get at rack stores. Then that nighttime, had a church service to go out of town and help with some people, and I'm only going to talk about this one briefly because I've already talked about it a fair bit because I do really enjoy it. It is by World of Zaharoff, and it is Signature Pour Homme Extreme. Like I said, it smells just like the original Signature Pour Homme that kind of musky, old-fashioned, masculine, classic style of aromatic and citrus, but with a heaviness in the woods and a lot more of a birch tar style smokiness, a little deeper, a lot richer, a lot more hefty, masculine smelling. Not even so much of a youthful masculine, very much a more mature masculine style. But I love this stuff. Fantastic, great performer. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I highly recommend sampling anything from Order of Zaharoff. It's great quality, and the samples are only like $7 or so. So yeah, highly recommend it. Definitely need to check it out. Then the next day, wore one from my mini samples I have from Equilibre d'Orange. This is one that I'm going to try to pronounce the name. If not, I'm just going to briefly put it on screen. But it's one by them that is called Attaquer le Soleil or Marquis de Sade. I don't know how to spell it. You'll see it on the name on the screen. This is actually one that is a creation from Quentin Bish, and it is very balsamic, very resinous, little musky area, that same style that Equilibre d'Orange does a lot of, but it has a little bit more of a dry, woody aspect to it. I actually don't like this one as much as I do Tom of Finland. I actually, those weeks ago when I pulled Tom of Finland, I thought it was this and I really enjoyed that, but now I know that this is totally different from that. One that might not be the best for casual every time to wear. It's very much a unique scent profile to it. Some people might not like the dryness that's in it. I don't mind it. I do really enjoy it and do like it, but not one I like as much as a lot of their other creations. But still, one that's great and easy wear. And if you do get a huge sample kit from Equilibre d'Orange, it's more likely to be in there. And so I highly suggest trying it out and see what you think about it. And that nighttime, I went back to the same church out of town to kind of finish up with the string of services that they had. And I wore one that I got in literally the exact same day. I'm not gonna talk a whole lot about it. A lot of other people talk about it online. I will have my own separate video talking and reviewing this one, but it is a recent release from Atafa in their Assad line, and it is Assad Elixir. I had the chance to get it when it came back in stock on Fragflex and had to pull the trigger on it. But yeah, very much in that Boss Bottled Absolute, also Boss Bottled Elixir style, but with their own little almost fresher twist on it. I'm not gonna, again, not gonna talk a whole lot about it. There's a lot of videos and a lot of people talking about it online. The top's a little hard to put on this for some reason, but I do like it. I really enjoy it. It had great performance. It lasted almost the whole night and could smell it well on my clothes, even going into way later that night when I came home. But yeah, be looking for a video coming soon with me highlighting this fragrance as a review by itself. And yeah, just spoiler alert, I really like this one. The next day on a Wednesday, wore one that is a little similar to another thing I wore late in the week, but they definitely have their own unique styles and takes on the profile. But this one is one that I like in the line that's in. I think it's my favorite. A lot of people hype the one before it, which is like kind of the blue version of it, but I really like this one here. None other by Rokos, and it is L'Homme Rokos Aromatic Touch. And it's not as green, herby as you'd think by the look and the name of the fragrance. This is one that's actually very woody, very resinous, ambery, a lot of olibanum in here, a little warmth in that dry down, ambery. It's very interesting. And then, like I said, there's a fragrance I wore late in the week that's similar in profile, but this has a more resinous, ambery take on it. But I love this stuff, a little similar to something like Lilique's Linsimus, which by the way is what I wore late in the week, and also things in the style of like Straight to Heaven by Killian, but not as boozy as that, not as sweet as that as well, and not as woody as that. This, like I said, is more an ambery resinous take on that. Love the stuff though, could smell it even on the clothes that I wore that day later in the week when we went to wash them and whatnot. Still smelled it on there, so absolutely love this. Great for most of the year round, probably aside from the high heat of summer. It has a little bit of a classy, casual, even formal business attire, all that style to it. Really do like this, really enjoyable. Not gonna be as versatile, I think, as the blue one. The blue one's a lot more citrus and fresh, but this one is a little more serious. You can still wear it for most of the same occasions, but I think that this one is a little more for the, kind of mysterious side of it, and more the hefty, more serious kind of takes on it. But if you have the original and don't have this one, I highly recommend getting this, just trying it out and having that choice between the two for different occasions. Then that nighttime, we had the small groups in my house where a lot of people from the church come over to my house. We eat, fellowship, have a great time all together. We do that on the first Wednesday of every month. And I wore one that I really enjoy. Had people ask me what I was wearing and got some good compliments on it. They really liked it, had to know what it was. It's actually one that is very underhyped, underappreciated in the line it's in and from the company that it is from. And it's not too recent of a release from them. It is in the same line. There's some other recent releases from this, but this one I think came out maybe last year or the year before. Got it for a great price at TJ Maxx. It is by Calvin Klein from the Eternity line, and this one is Eternity Amber Essence. Really love this one. This is like a sweet, like the name says, amber benzoin warm kind of fragrance. It has a bourbon vanilla note in here, but man, what you're gonna get is a very almost syrupy vanilla sweetness on the top, then it dries down being something more smooth, warm, a little musky, a little ambery, resinous, some slight woods in there as well. But love this stuff, a great performer as well. It doesn't have like a huge projection for majority of it, but it lasts pretty well, has a great subtlety to it when it does dry down, being something that's a little more alluring, a little more tolerable for like intimate date settings and things like that. But yeah, love this stuff, fantastic quality, one that you would not expect to be from anything that Calvin Klein put out, much less in their Eternity line, but one that if you do happen to see it out and about for a really good price, I highly recommend trying it out, or really anything from their Essence line. And the next day, wore one that you might think of as a daytime scent, probably more for like nighttime use, or out and about with friends or date nights and things like that. But I think if you wear it right and you spray it pretty subtle and you spray it appropriately, not overdoing it, you definitely can wear this in the daytime because of the scent profile that is kind of emulating and trying to be like. It is by none other than Tahari in their Tahari Privé line, and this one is called Bordeaux Elixir, also called, I think, Bergamot Musk on the box. This is one that I've always said smells like Aaron Terrence Hughes' sweet, musky, fruity style of fragrance that he always is known for, whether it means things like, like hard candy elixir, notorious, things like that. But I've found out recently from Dustin at the Fragrance Fan channel, this is actually supposed to be more closer to like Jean-Paul Gaultier Le Male Elixir kind of scent profile. And with knowing that, I smell it, I compared even things like Lionheart Man by Armand. Yeah, it definitely is that same comparison there, but I still think it has a good bit of Aaron's kind of quality and personality and the things that he puts in his fragrances, and maybe that's why he likes Le Male Elixir all that well as well. But yeah, man, fruity, very musky, vanillic, sweet. You mainly just get a lot of sweet musks in here. You don't get the vanilla, a little ambery, benzoin. Like I said, a tad bit of a fruit, almost citric pop on the top, but majority of it is sweet, ambery, vanilla, and very airy and light. This has great performance as well. You would not expect the quality from this from Tahari, but that's why it's in their Tahari Privé line. But yeah, great performance. Majority of the day, I could still smell it. It was pushing off. Even the next day, I smelled it on the same jacket that I wore with the clothes that I had. But yeah, love this stuff. If you do happen to see it out and about at rack stores, majority like Marshalls and TJ Maxx, I highly recommend it. They also have another one here in this line called Cobalt Smoke, and I think they have a few other recent releases that I have not gotten a chance to get my hands on yet, but this one I highly suggest. If it's the only one that you get from them, you have to get it majority of the year, probably aside from the high heat of summer, even though I think you could get away with this in the nighttime of summer as long as it's not too warm. But yeah, love this stuff. You would not expect it for like the $16 you pick it up at, but this stuff is super high quality, very well blended, and it's fantastic. Really do love it. And that nighttime wore one that a lot of people will probably agree that if you enjoy Banana Republic's Icon line, that this is one that you have to pick up. I've even seen Ash from Gent Sense talk about this one, and I don't get to wear it that often, but when I do, I always really enjoy it. Again, by Banana Republic, and it is tobacco and tonka bean. I really love this stuff. It is absolutely fantastic. A little similar to things like Initio Side Effect, but a little more of a, of course, different profile and a different kind of quality and a little bit difference on that sweetness on the top. But it is unmistakably that tobacco kind of style that Side Effect gives you. That dry down, a little bit of that powdery, sweet, almost rubbery style of tonka bean. It's a little bit of a fruitiness. I think there's a plum note in here as well. I absolutely love this stuff. And on skin, it's fantastic. Way different than test strip, even on clothes. When it's on skin and it dries down and it mellows out and it really smooths, it smells fantastic. You would not believe that this is from a Banana Republic fragrance. This stuff just smells way higher quality, way better than it has any right to be, especially from the price you could pick it up at rack stores, which is like almost $20, probably right at that, or $21. Love this stuff, fantastic. Again, if you had the chance to get this, and I've seen it a whole lot out about, especially at Ross Dress for Less and Burlington, do yourself a favor, go ahead, pick it up and enjoy it, because I guarantee you, you're not gonna believe what you get out of it. That next day, the last day of the work week on Friday, a little bit of a warmer day, and we're starting to get warmer days now coming in. I think winter is trying to leave and spring's trying to come in early, even though I think we're gonna have a good few cold snaps here and there, but it was a little warmer that day. Give me a right to wear something that isn't quite for the warm weather, but not quite for the cold, even though I think this you can really wear for most of the time, either in between or fully on either, but it's one that I absolutely love. My favorite release from this brand, and I've talked about it a ton. I've had shorts even dedicated to it, and I really do believe in it. It is by Vince Camuto, and it is Terra. Really do want to get Terra Extreme as well. Smelled it in person and really enjoyed it. It's just, you have to buy a full-size bottle of it, and I just don't feel like getting a full size yet, but if I have to, I will. This is definitely one I will get a full-size bottle of for sure once this one runs out. Very much in that style of Versace Eros, that bubblegum, minty, brisk, sweet vanilla that you get on the top, and a lot of like ambers, a little slight woodiness in here, but this one is a lot more of a musky, fresh, especially that aromatic, sweet mint on the top, more so than you get from even just regular Versace by itself. I love this stuff though, and the freshness, almost the aquatic kind of fresh muskiness you get in this, makes it a little more versatile, even wear it maybe a little bit in the summertime, so definitely the spring and the fall, maybe not the super high heat of summer, but you definitely can wear it at nighttime. But I love this stuff. It is so good, great performance as well, both projection and longevity, and the quality and the blend is something you would not expect from Vince Camuto. I just absolutely love and believe in this stuff. If you don't have it, you haven't tried it, but you like Versace Eros but don't feel like spending the Eros money, or you want something that's a better kind of twist on the DNA, I highly recommend this one. I really, really love it. Then that nighttime, my usual Friday night routine, going out with wife and baby, grocery shopping, looking around, buying new fragrances, seeing what I can get into, and I wore one that I very recently got in, been looking out for and pushing back. You know what, I like this one, I'm gonna get it next time, I never got it. So finally I saw Ross from TLT's reviews talking about it again. It's his favorite Lattafa fragrance, and I just was like, you know what, I need to go ahead and pull the trigger on it the next chance I get, and so I did. I'm not gonna talk a whole lot about it because a lot of other people have talked about it online. Plus I'm also gonna be talking about it in a upcoming video, so I'm gonna save my comments for them, but just know that this one is from Lattafa, and it is Teriyaki Intense. I got my wife the first Teriyaki like a year or so ago when it first came out, and she loves it. I love it. It doesn't smell like really anything that I know, but I know Quentin Bish did that in this one, and they're definitely more originals, which makes me more prone to get them, because I do like clones, I like things like that, but I want something that has a little bit of an originality to it. Even if it's a similarity, I want something that's more original, especially from a master perfumer like Quentin Bish. But this one here, guys, is fantastic. I really do love this. Again, I'm not gonna talk a whole lot about it. I'm gonna save it for a upcoming video that I'm gonna talk about. Actually, this week, I'm gonna release a video talking about it and a lot of other fragrances in the same vein, if you can kind of get a hint of what I'm gonna be talking about. But yeah, love this stuff, fantastic. It's sweet, it's spicy, it's everything you want in a even date night, sensual, seductive style of fragrance for most of the, maybe not in the year round, but definitely for more of the colder seasons, even in the springtime. Love this stuff, fantastic quality. You would not believe it, and it smells great now. I can only imagine how much better it'll smell as it matures on my shelf. But yeah, be looking for a video coming up where I will be mentioning this along with a lot of others. Absolutely love and highly recommend getting this. If you don't have it, you need to get it. And that Saturday is a little bit of a cooler day, definitely cooler than Friday, and decided to wear something that was a little more of a classy, everyday kind of casual thing. I was going to be around a lot of people, doing some professional work, and wanted to smell a little more upscale, and while also being very, casual. And this is, like I talked about before when I mentioned the Rokas L'Homme Aromatic Touch, wore one that's very similar in the same profile, with just a different take on it from Malik, and it is Linsemus. I really do want to get the flanker from this one. That's Linsemus Ma Force, which I think is supposed to be a little similar to Abercrombie & Fitch, but I still really want to get it. This definitely isn't the same style as like Straight to Heaven by Killian, but actually a little more close to Straight to Heaven because it has more booziness in it, way more focus on the woods in this than Aromatic Touch is. Really strong, like dry, woody, like cedar, almost like an oak kind of style as well. I think maybe that booziness adds in that oak kind of thing in there. A little bit of a citric pop on the top, a lot of patchouli in here, a little musk. It's very, very nice though, very aromatic as well. Man, this stuff is classy as all get out. Great performance as well. Not like superb, but definitely right under average, if not right at that, especially as far as longevity. Projection is pretty good as well, but yeah, very classy. Right up the alley of what Lalique always does great at, which is classic, classy, formal, upscale, easy to wear fragrances. Really do love this one. If you don't have it, it's like dirt cheap online. I even got this one, the small bottle here, for like $20-something when I think Fragrance Net had a clearance on it. But yeah, highly suggest trying this out if you like anything I talked about that, or you want a Straight to Heaven kind of alternative, but definitely much cheaper. Definitely recommend getting this one. It is really, really good. And then today, Sunday, y'all know my usual church going routine, and wore one that I actually talked about not too long ago when I wore it on a Saturday after getting it. I really do love this fragrance. I love everything about it, all the styles like it, all the kind of category of fragrances that this fits into, the kind of, you know, generalization and genre that you would consider this one in. It is by Dolce & Gabbana, and it is Dolce & Gabbana Intenso, or some people say Pour Homme Intenso, because this definitely is a flanker to the original Pour Homme line. But this stuff is so good. If you like classic, masculine, formal, you know, almost mature, but not really like too old school mature, just classy, upscale kind of fragrances, in the same line, things like, you know, anything from Lalique and things like that, this is the one to go with. Very aromatic, very lavender forward, a little bit of a freshness in there as well. It has tobacco, it has bran, it has haze, some unique kind of aspects to it. And like I said, aromatic, very almost powdery, has patchouli, it has tonka bean, it has like that coumarin smell, all of that in here. A little bit of a sweetness as well mixed in with the aromatics, a little bit of almost an earthy patchouli kind of aspect as it dries down, a little bit of woods. It has everything in it, 10,000 notes it seems like. But yeah, this stuff is really good. Like I said, very classy. It's a great everyday casual wear, day or nighttime for anyone like middle age or older, or if you just enjoy those classy older style scents, this is a great one to go with. Majority of the year, maybe aside from like the super high heat of summer, but you can get away with like a couple like light sprays. But love this stuff, fantastic. No one talks about it online. The only one I've seen talk about it or give it any kind of appreciation is Ash from Jensen's. He really enjoys it, and I'm actually right along with him because I really enjoy it as well. If you like those old style scents or just anything that's a classy modern day man style fragrance, this is a great one to go with, and you can find it pretty cheap now, even at rack stores. We've seen it pop up at. So yeah, definitely recommend getting this if you like anything in that genre. There you go, guys, all the things I've worn all through the week. And like I said, there's a few in here that I'm not gonna talk a whole lot about because I will give them their own time and chance later on. But yeah, I really enjoyed all of these. If any of these stood out to you, or any of these are like your personal favorites, or you have questions about them, or you've been looking at buying them and really don't know if you should go ahead and do it or not, let me know down in the comments below whether you like it, whether you don't, or you're thinking about it, or your own comments on anything that you've seen in here. I'd love to hear about it in the comments below. And as usual, if you're watching this video, if you like what you've seen here, please consider giving the video a like and a thumbs up. Let me know to keep making these weekly rotation videos, and hopefully I can start giving some twists on these videos way later and throughout the year. And as usual, if you're watching this video and you're not subscribed to the channel, but you do like what you've seen here or what you've seen elsewhere on the channel, I encourage you to please consider supporting this channel by subscribing and hitting the notification bell so you can see all the things that I'm working on in the background to bring out to you guys. I'd love for you to be right along with me on this cheap and inexpensive fragrance journey. And hey, maybe I can even help you discover something new along the way. And as always, guys, I'll have this video. Again, thank you for being here and for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I hope that you've enjoyed it. And I will see all of you again in the next video. Be blessed.